allowance to fund any community. Can anyone do that? You have plan for your money, come. This is it. This is how to solve the problem. Where these people must be loaded so they can be loaded in the future. In Nigeria that are ready to help the student, to the youth to become a student in Nigeria. We can actually do this by helping them. The number 2 is non-having work of non-employment. Basically, let these people know why they should have work, re-strategize them, mobilize them, let them go back to their own family business, rebrand it, re-strategize it, refund it, and make it look more possible for them to work on. Hope you understand that. Another one is the term of training. Bring up something very relevant. Go out there and bring a person that can let them know why they should be trained, discover what they know that they think they don't know and they know it. Give them this opportunity to train very well and very pleasant with them. They will have a good skill to work. Now, this is the way why we need the leadership. All these people are not well educated. Choose a person there. You will not be there forever. Mentor this person. Let him be great. For him to be tutor, all the rest. You are a mentor for him. He is a mentee. But now, after you have went out, you will be a mentor and the other will be a mentee. Okay, getting this right. The question is, as a club member, what's your own reward doing this? We didn't need any reward. We are here for each other. In the Bible, Luke 6, verse 35 says, it's good and you
1 minute.
It's good for you to do. Don't wait for a return, but you will reward by greatness. In Islam, Surah Zulzala say, Wama Yaman is called Adaroti, Koron Yaro, Wama Yaman is called Adaroti, Sharon Yaro. Do it good, they will reward you good. In the oracle, if I said, Ole Kumari, Obatitiwa, Shedada Fuwa, Kalewi Dadaka. In Yoruba narration, we are here for each other. We are a God member to help them and they will help us in the future. Run Nigeria, run NYSC.
Out to money. Now consider yourself a winner. She talks about the percentage of people who are not in school today, the percentage of people who are not employed. Now the aims and objectives of the YNET are the people who are not in school, the now the winner are the people who have been inspired, side the people who think themselves as an industrialist, moving on a desert and trying to build something about something or a story. Yeah, but there are a lot of people who are once stressed in the world in Nigeria of today. Now these people have fought so much so that they are the trailblazer, people who have really fought with, educate themselves, not living alone in Nigeria, but came back and fighting for Nigerians' independence. And that came out along this way. Now, we as the youths, the innocent are those who think they don't know, but at the end of the day, once you serve as a key to their potential, they become something, they become great, and they become the answer to their own community. They become a developer, they become the answer to solve a particular problem. Remember very well that Nigeria of today are the answer to today's problem and the response to tomorrow's solution. Thank you very much.
With a practical example of a story of my classmate Shegun. Shegun was just 15 years old when he lost his parents into a robbery incident. This incident shattered his dream. It made him helpless. He was hopeless. He was frustrated. He was depressed. He had to drop out of school. This story is not just the story of Shegun alone, because I have got to realize that so many youths in Nigeria story are worse. Shegun was on a journey of illiteracy, no future. Few months later, some core members were deployed into that community in which he resides. And after they were deployed, one of them named Kopa Ugochukwu helped share Shegun's pathetic story and decided to mentor him. He called him, he talked to him, he spoke to him. He advised him to return to school. Shegun did. After then, he taught Shegun some programming skills because he's actually a computer scientist graduate. And that skill became a source of income for Shegun. After a few years, Shegun became an expert in that field and created a school of computer training. That school became, he employed people which solves unemployment in that community. So, dear club members, we are mentors, and mentorship is not just a noble endeavor. Mentorship, it is a strategic imperative. Mentorship, it is a call to service. It is a call to work for our nation. It doesn't necessarily mean that we can impart only academic knowledge. It's not just only academic knowledge. We can impart other knowledges like social. We can be there for them emotionally. Another thing is,
this will help us to survive Nigerian economic process. This is why we need to work towards development of skills and also liberate Nigeria today. This is why we need to stand together, brace up, work together towards development of skills in Nigeria today. I would like to tell you all today that most traditional industries are now evolving and they are now bringing up new opportunities. Even though the skills in demand are changing very fast, this is why we need to brace up, work together, and team up as youths. The government, our parents' wealth, cannot help us to survive this problem. We need to labor, because if we do not labor, there won't be any favor. Also, we need to stand up as mentors, mentor our fellow youths, make them know the importance of skill and also skill acquisition. When we stand up as mentors, we are preparing our young Nigerians to work towards seizing new opportunities so as to be better. Also, we should embrace the role of leadership. When we embrace the role of leadership, we are working towards helping Nigeria economy get better. Nigeria economy is so bad that it requires that we strongly work towards the development of skills in Nigeria today. In conclusion, let us all work together, mentor our young ones, and when we are mentoring them, we need to be inclusive. That is, we make sure we mentor all the people from all the walks of life. When we do this, Nigeria economy will get better. So my fellow club members, let us stand together, let us work together, let us stand strong and make sure that we make Nigeria economy better. We do not want to complain, because if we complain, we will call pain. Thank you very much.
I'm with state code MA23B7870, and I'm representing Platoon 7. I'm here to buttress and provide solutions on the emergency buttress by my colleague. I just imagine the question I asked you. Or stop imagining, because all this is all a fantasy if you don't provide change. And the change starts with us. Because we need to realign our values. We're in a society where we place so much focus on wealth. We place so much emphasis on wealth as opposed to knowledge and accomplishments. Luckily for us, as our state coordinator said, most of us will be posted to school. This gives us a great avenue to reach out to youths and to reach out to younger ones, to educate them. We are very important because we are very close to their generation and can tell what generation, what's the workforce demands. In schools, we need to ensure that we don't need to teach them formal education, but how to think. There's this Jim Rohn saying that says, formal education teaches you how to learn a living, but self-education teaches you how to make a fortune. In schools, you can make use of it by social events, buying footballs for them, in which you teach them civic duties, how to be respectful, how to be hardworking, and you shall also, in your PPAs, educate parents on the necessity of education. Unfortunately, most people, regardless of, unfortunately, even though His Excellency has built schools and reformed schools, you can still see that people are still not going to school. And you can make an argument for them because, I mean, we have first class graduates who are sitting in the house. So we need to teach them skills. And the SAID program teaches us, equips us with the necessary skills to be able to pass on to other people so that you can start businesses and eventually employ more people. To this end, I would like to say that us as coppers, we are community catalysts, and we play a very vital role. Our PPA and our CS are great avenues to be able to reach out to the community. And I want to implore all of us to make use of this 1 year, because this is a call to leadership. Thank you.
Embarked on his journey through his university life, filled with the...
But before I use my symbol to symbolize symbolism,
embarked on his journey through his university life, filled with career paths, and
the weight of societal expectations left him feeling directionless. But one day, in the midst of all the Nukudio, Tunde Ali Okafor met somebody. The esteemed judges, camp officials, co-debaters, gentlemen corps members, standing before his Oluwatade Peace Oluwatobi, with state code LA23B4908, representing number 1 Platoon as the supporting speaker. And today, our team stands resolute in advocating for the notion, mentoring youth in your host community, a national emergency, and a call to leadership. I will be delivering this debate presentation with 3 compelling points. 1. Educational empowerment. 2. Long-term benefits for the community. And 3. Long-term economic impact. Firstly, educational empowerment. Youth often find themselves in a dilemma trying to apply theoretical knowledge to real-world situations. But studies have consistently shown that youth who receive mentoring are more likely to excel academically. Now listen, according to a report by the National Mentoring Partnership, mentored youth have a higher likelihood of attending college and completing their degrees. By offering support and guidance, mentors provide youth with a tool to navigate academic challenges, thereby leading to a more educated and skilled workforce that drives economic growth. Moving on, long-term benefits for the community. Investing in the mentoring of youth is an investment for the future of our society. The youth we mentor today will become leaders of tomorrow, innovators and change makers. By providing them with the support, assistance and orientation they need, we ensure robust pipeline of talents that will tackle the challenges of the 21st century. This long-term benefit does not extend beyond personal growth, but also reaching the very fabric of our nation's progress. Lastly, long-term economic impacts. The study by the Center for Evidence-Based Mentoring reveals the long-term economic benefits of mentoring. For every dollar invested in mentoring programs, there's an average return of $3.92 in economic benefits. This is not just a mere statistic, but a testament that profound the impact of mentoring on the shaping of the course of young lives and that of the community. Thank you.
To eradicate the problems we will be facing in the society at large, I would like us to do a few things. Number 1, when we are being posted to our various host communities, I would like us to embody the role of being a leader. You cannot expect people to respect you when you don't even respect yourself and believe in yourself. So if you want your host community to actually adhere to your advice, you have to portray yourself as such that will be admirable in the host community. Secondly, I would like us to also empower the youth in our host communities at large. Without further ado, I'd like us to understand and have it at the back of our minds that whatever we are being taught here in camp is very, very important and will come in handy in empowering the youth in our host communities. We have several core values that we mentioned earlier. We have diligence, we have discipline, we have obedience, we have as many as possible. I want us to understand that when you're leaving the camp, do not just leave those values behind, to be precise, because you will need them at whatever community you are posted to. I want us to also have it at the back of our minds that we have been given a very great opportunity to get to where we are today. And since we have that opportunity, we need to utilize this in creating opportunities for the next generation. This is not the time for us to keep on blaming our leaders. We always have to say our leaders have failed us. Now you are the leader. And I trust that you will not want to fail the next generation. Like my platoon said during the meditation, charity begins at home. You need to start from yourself in order to make the future better. That future that you are always looking onto, you are there now. You are that future. So don't waste time being frivolous and being reckless with your opportunities you have. As we are seated, I want us to raise our hands and make a pledge. Please repeat after me. I promise to be a positive impact and change to my host community. Please let's say it again. I promise to be a positive impact and change to my host community.
A positive impact and change to my host community.
Thank you.
Round of applause to number 2 platoon. The time starts now.
I would have loved to stand here, but I'm quite shocked. Standing on the existing protocol, earlier established by my co-speaker, my
My name is Iseyin with state code OY23B3342. If the master did something and a white man said, you cannot make record if you don't break record. Yes. Now, still talking on this monitoring and mentoring youths that are not educated and employed and trained. Do you know we fall in the category of youths that are not employed? We don't have a job yet. I know some of you are CEOs, but notwithstanding. Of course, in terms of education, we need a particular measure and the usual amount. That is one. In terms of will get employed once they are done with their educational level. Now, in terms of training,
Urgent crisis of youth not in education, employment, or training. My name is Agara Judith Anthony with state code OY23B4809, and I'm a representative of Platoon 9 here to speak on the detailed topic, mentoring youth, why needs in your host community, a national emergency and call to leadership. Currently, the population of Nigeria stands at approximately 225 million, with about 70% of this number accounting for youth. That means approximately 157 million youths in Nigeria. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, the youth unemployment rate in Nigeria is 53.4%. This means approximately 85 million youths are unemployed, not to mention youths who are not in any form of education or training. As a matter of fact, the United Nations reports that only 13.44% of Nigerian youths are either educated, employed, or in training. And as a matter, that gives us approximately 135 million youths who aren't. As a matter of fact, some of us, by the choices we make, or maybe even situations beyond our control, may be adding to this number. This statistics is not a crisis. However, it represents the untapped potential of our nation's youth, and we cannot afford to ignore this time bomb, and the time to act is now. Allow me to paint a picture of the future that undoubtedly awaits Nigeria if the wide needs crisis is not tackled now. There will be economic instability. Without proper education and training, youth are unable to contribute to the growth of the economy. How about social disintegration? Unemployed and frustrated, youth are most likely to turn to crime. This would lead to an increase in crime rates and erosion of values and public safety. We'll have instances like election violence becoming the norm, where youths are manipulated into becoming perpetrators of violence. Ultimately, we are risking a future without development. If the wide needs crisis goes unaddressed, we are depriving Nigeria of the very fuel that drives development, skilled and trained young minds. And it is on this note that we are making this call to action and leadership. I believe that at this point, we can all agree that Nigeria's future is tied to the decision we make to address the wide needs crisis. Because by reducing the number of wide needs individuals, Nigeria is able to harness the potential of its youth to drive innovation, economic growth, and social progress. Fellow youth corps members, we stand here today and we are gathered here as stewards of Nigeria's future, not only as citizens, but as caretakers of the future that you and I, our children, and generations after us will come to inherit. We will be the most affected for how Nigeria turns out tomorrow, and we have the power to change the destiny of this nation and ultimately our own destinies, not by grand gestures, but by the simple act of reaching out to youth who are disengaged from any form of education, training, and employment, and guiding them towards education, skills, and opportunities that can transform their lives. You may be wondering, in what ways can I mentor youth in my host community? While my second speaker and colleague would do justice to this question, I could provide some insights, one-on-one guidance by speaking to youth in your host communities, understanding their aspirations, their dreams, challenges, and guiding them. How about through workshops? You could organize workshops for practical skill training or even for recreational activities, things that can enhance their self-confidence and employability. The list is endless. And to answer the resource question, you are the first resource. You are a skilled and trained and educated corps member with the capacity to impact someone else. And what's more, you have your colleagues with you, trained and skilled as well, and through collaborations and forging partnership, even with organizations create a support system for youth in your host communities, you can drive a change that will transform their lives forever. By making available these creative and strategic solutions, I believe we can create an environment that enables these youth who are disengaged from any form of employment, training and opportunities, an opportunity to be able to become productively contributing members of society. In conclusion, I urge each and every one of us to remember that as Nigeria's youth, we are not just its future, we are its present, and by providing guidance and helping to reduce the number of whining individuals through mentorship.
That leadership is like the abominable snowman whose footprints are everywhere but is nowhere to be seen. Before I proceed, I would like to give honor to whom honor is due. The state coordinator, the assistant camp director here present, the panel of judges, the Mind the Gap representative, my co-debaters, gentlemen core members. I'm Sharon Okeonyema, representative of Platoon 4 with state code OY23B3414, and I'm here to speak on the topic mentoring youth, why need in host community, a national emergency and call to action. Why need stands for Youth Not in Education, Employment and Training. Mentoring signifies a relationship between a mentor and a mentee, one where the leader as a mentor builds the mentees by building their confidence, their strength, and leveraging on their personal experiences. Now, the statistics of the SDG goal, of the Sustainable Development Goal 8, says that it's targeted at reducing the rate of reducing the proportion of youth not in education, employment, or training by 2020. However, between 2018 and 2023, the rate of unemployment in Nigeria has increased from 23.1% to the projection of 41% by the end of this year. The imminent result of this staggering increase is evident in the quotes, "An idle mind is the devil's workshop." Therefore, it is indeed a national emergency, but one that this orientation course has equipped core members to handle. I would like to ask a question. Is it possible to provide a useful solution without really assessing the problem? I do not think so. Therefore, I suggest that in host communities, core members should first carry out a research to find out why youths in that community are not in education. It can be for two reasons. One, these youths might simply not be interested in education. Two, they might be interested but do not have the resources to further. For youths who are simply not interested in education, core members have the opportunity to mentor these youths by giving them mental mentoring to change their mindset. We can do this by reaching out to the community leaders and the school authorities to engage these youths in interactive sessions where first we have to inspire them with our personal growth stories of how our education has improved our life, and then use it to inform them of how education is important for their personal development and for the development of their community. Also, there are three categories of youths who are not in employment. One, youths who are educated to some level but have no jobs. Two, youths who are skilled but have no resources to take advantage of their skills. Three, youths who are unskilled and therefore are unemployed. For youths who are unskilled and youths who have some level of education, the skill acquisition programs will be very beneficial to them. But now we might say that youth corpers may not have the resources to fund such skill acquisition programs, but we can leverage on human resources and existing associations in those communities. For example, there might be a young girl who wants to learn fashion designing. As core members, we can reach out to the Association of Fashion Designing in that community to encourage them or appeal to them to take on this girl as an apprentice, either for free for a period of time, or she would pay after a while of learning and earning. For core members, for youths who are skilled but do not have resources, we can make them aware of it, please. So back to the quote by Benis and Nanos. Mentorship is an opportunity for core members to provide sustainable impact in our host communities. A few days ago, Honorable Olusegun Obasanjo Obalowo talked about core members who carried out health intervention in Iba East local government area. That is impact. Mentorship is an opportunity for core members to leverage on their skills to build other youth in their communities and make Nigeria
Thank you very
better.
much. Platoon number 4.
Thank you very much.
The time starts now.
Good morning, everybody. Standing on all the existing protocols, my co-core members and my co-debaters. My name is Fumilayo Akimbode Elizabeth with state code OY23B3295. And in front of you today, I want to talk on an emergency topic that says mentoring youth in your host community, a national emergency and call to leadership according to SDG 8 Target 6. Now, for some of us that we've not heard of SDG 8 Target 6, it means that substantially reducing the rate of youth not in employment, education, and training. Going with the International Labour Organization, there's a statistics that says that 26.2% in 2019, the share of youth not in education, employment, and training are moderate compared to other African countries. We are still on the average, but we can do more. However, there is a higher rate between the female and a male. So we have much females that fall under this whiteness, while our males just like 18% and our females are like 36%. Now, as a core member, what is your role in solving this issue? Sustainable Developmental Goals is a United Nations project which is to be accomplished by the year 2030, which is to bring every country to a state of welfare and economic growth. Now, as a core member, what is your role in this YNET? You are a core member. First thing that you have to do is not stop down on education. We are talking about youth not in education. And according to the UNESCO, we have 10.3 million of dropouts in Nigeria. We have 7.8 girls and 3.2 males. Why this? Financial background, economical factor, your parents' exposure, and other factors. Now, we have SDGs, and I think for us to be able to achieve these youth not in education, employment, and training, we have the Sustainable Developmental Goals that will take us far. We have SDG 4, which talks about quality education. As a core member, you can just pick a project on sensitizing secondary school students on the importance of education. And we have international grant and fellowship that gives grants for this SDG 4 on quality education. We have the award. You can collect grants from 10,000 USD to 50,000 USD in your rural community. All you have to do is just to submit the project proposal, and that settles it. Now, how do we solve the issue of unemployment in our community? The rate given by the International Labour Organization says that females are more unemployed than males. Now, the thing that we can do is first to fight about gender pay gap in our organizations. There are some organizations that they believe that a lady cannot be in a position. It is a male that can be in a position. And using this camp as an example, if I should come from Platoon 1 to Platoon 10, our Platoon leaders will see that despite that we females are more than the males, we have male platoon leaders than females. So I want to use this opportunity to call on our female leaders. So you have the potential, you have the skill. What a man can do, a woman can do better. And looking at this, we will know that it is females that are reading more in Nigeria. And we have lot of opportunities for us to carry on with this project. So we are youth, and a leader is a mentor. We are all leaders. Stop talking down on education. Stop saying education is a scam. Okay, females desire than female. Okay, a male desire than a male. This and that. No, that is not possible. So I'm using this to call on everybody as a leader. Let us work on our projects. You can, irrespective of your background, if you are in technology, we have SDG 17 that is talking about partnership. If you study nutrition, we have zero hunger. We have SDG 1 that is talking about no poverty. So this is an opportunity for us to get to action and settle this thing in our host community. So thank you.
prominent core members. All protocols duly observed. Today, I stand before you not just as a number 8 platoon speaker, but as a bearer of a clarion call. A call that has brought you and everybody here to the NYSC. And everybody here to the NYSC. As I paint pictures with words and establish my view on the topic, mentoring undergraduate youth. As I paint pictures with words and establish my view on the topic, mentoring undergraduate youths, a national emergency and a call to leadership. I would like you and everybody here to be my comrade and march with me. By the right, mark time. Go. Do we move to the left where nothing is right, or to the right where nothing is left? This question is the crossroad where our dear country Nigeria has found itself. A juncture where hope is falling faster than the naira. A juncture where Faith Adekunle doesn't know her fate. A juncture where Destiny Opara doesn't know his destination, and where Danladi Musa doesn't know where we will land. We are experiencing an economic reset, a reset that requires urgent development and deployment of skills. These developments are developments that must cut across demographic lines, ethnic groups, and gender differences. And our youth not in employment, education, and training are the most endangered. Parade, halt. Now you may ask, how is this my business? Do we not have a government? Is it not the government that has not been doing what they are supposed to do? Parade, stand at ease. Imagine Fatai, talented Fatai, the best shoemaker in the Barapa Central Local Government, who doesn't know how to make use of the social media and the smartphone to improve his business. Or Kenny, brilliant Kenny, who fell into depression in LA Ibadan simply because she got pregnant and had to drop out of school. In the corners of our host communities lies a treasure trove of untapped potentials. These are the youths, Adekunle, Opara, Danladi, Fatai, and Kemi, our very own future architects, engineers, doctors, leaders, and entrepreneurs. But their futures have been marred by the shadows of uncertainty and lack of guidance. In the words of Udoba,